Okay, so our topic naman ngayon is the degenerative disorders of the nervous system. Parang hindi ko pala mai-stop ito kasi pag nawala ako, baka hindi na bumalik. So I don't know if this will be the continuation of the previous lecture, pero siguro nakapagpahinga ka ng kaunti, ha? Okay, so I hope I can finish now the neurological nursing with the last topic, which is called degenerative diseases of the nervous system. So when you say degenerative, it actually involves loss of nerve cells or loss of nerve cells in the nervous system. So if we had 3 autoimmune diseases, meron tayong 4 degenerative. And just like what we did in autoimmune, I will do comparative discussion first. Okay? So let's follow through. First, we have Parkinson's disease. Okay. Parkinson's disease. Let us just enumerate them, ha? Then we have Alzheimer's disease. And I'm sure all of you are familiar with these conditions. Okay. Then we also have Huntington's disease. Huntington's disease. Okay, and then the last is your ALS, the Lou Gehrig's disease. Okay, then the last one is called the Lou Gehrig's disease. Ayan. Okay, so these are the 4 degenerative disorders. Let's have where the problem is, what the problem is, ayan, etiology, etc. Compare muna natin sila so we can understand them better. Okay? So where is the problem? In Parkinson's disease, where is the problem? Actually, the problem is in the midbrain. The problem is in the midbrain. Okay? There is degeneration of substantia nigra, and they are located in the midbrain. This substantia nigra is a dopamine producing cells. Dopamine producing cells. Sorry. Producing cells. Nagde-degenerate. Yes, okay. And this dopamine that is being produced by the substantia nigra is actually needed. This dopamine is actually needed by the basal ganglia. Therefore, do we also affect the basal ganglia in patients with Parkinson's disease? Yes, kasi nga, the dopamine that is being produced, this is the one that is needed by the basal ganglia. Okay? We will go back to it, ha? Pero parang alam mo na yung problem mo. Kasi nang nag-discuss tayo ng anatomy and physiology, pag alam mo ang anatomy and physiology at nasira, you know the signs and symptoms already, correct? Correct. Okay. And then we have the Alzheimer's disease. So ano naman ang problem? There is degeneration of cells, degeneration of cells, degeneration of cells in the cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex. Degeneration of cells in the cerebral cortex. That's your Alzheimer's disease. Bakit naman sila nagde-degenerate? Pag-usapan natin mamaya, ha? Okay. Pag-uusapan natin, bakit nagde-degenerate yan sa cerebral cortex? Ay, ayaw. Yun, degeneration of cells in the cerebral cortex. Okay, sa Huntington's disease, ano naman ang problem dyan? In Huntington's disease, there is also degeneration of cells in the cerebral cortex and basal ganglia. Ay, grabe, sakop na niya lahat. Kung yung Alzheimer's disease, cerebral cortex lang, yung Parkinson's disease ay basal ganglia lang, ay ito hindi. Siya na talaga kasi cerebral cortex na, basal ganglia pa. Di ba? Tapos, dito naman sa Lou Gehrig's disease, which incidentally is also called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Kung naalala nyo, sometime ago in our country din, ginawa ito, and all in other countries abroad, yung ice bucket challenge. Naalala mo ba yun? Ubuhusan ka na ng yelo, ikaw pa magbabayad. Well, ginawa naman nila yan sa mga mararaming pera. Okay, anyway, bakit nila ginawa yun? Well, they were actually saving funds or raising funds rather for research of patients with Lou Gehrig's kasi nga halos lahat ng mga funds for research nasa Parkinson at Alzheimer's kasi yun ang very common. Sa Lou Gehrig's, this is not very common so they're not spending a lot of money in research for management. Kaya ginawa nila yon, and I think they were able to raise millions of dollars for the Lou Gehrig's disease. Okay? Eh ma'am, bakit Ice Bucket Challenge? Kasi in Lou Gehrig's disease class, there is degeneration of all motor neurons. All motor neurons. So ang manifestation, ma'am, motor. Yes. There is paralysis. Yes. There is muscle weakness. Yes. No sensory deficit. Motor lang. Motor lang. So they can still feel, diba? Pag binuhusan ka ng yelo, ice bucket challenge, you feel the cold. You feel very cold, but you cannot move. Okay, and just how Lou Gehrig's patients feel like, they feel everything, but they cannot move. Ma'am, question. The Lou Gehrig's and the myasthenia gravis will have the same manifestation, only paralysis and muscle weakness? Well, the answer is yes and no. Yes, because both of them will manifest muscle weakness and paralysis. Both of them will have no sensory problems. But in Lou Gehrig's kasi, both upper and motor neurons are affected. In myasthenia gravis, only the lower motor neurons are affected kasi nasa neuromuscular junction lang yon. Itong Lou Gehrig's, lahat to affected. Upper motor and lower motor. Upper motor in the brain, lower motor in the spinal cord. So all motor nerve, even the motor neurons of the cranial nerves are affected as well. Okay? So parang alam na natin yung clinical manifestation, di ba? Parkinson, basal ganglia, so may movement problem tayo. Alzheimer's, cerebral cortex, malamang thinking, thought, processes, memory, di ba? Ang Huntington's, wala na. Kuha niya lahat. And sa Lou Gehrig's, we have paralysis and paresis. Okay? So ano pong nangyari? Ba't sila nagkaganyan? So what would be the etiology? Comparative discussion again, but we will be discussing them also one by one, like what I did in autoimmune disease. And this is the last part of the neurologic nursing. And when I see you next meeting, I will be discussing musculoskeletal and special senses already. Okay? Okay, so what is the exact etiology? The exact etiology for Parkinson's, we do not know. How about sa Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's etiology, we do not know also. Okay. How about sa Huntington's? Sa Huntington's class, this is the only degenerative disorders with known cause. Anong cause niyan, ma'am? Hereditary. That there is a gene that can be transmitted from parents to offspring. And they can also get the disease, di ba? Sigurado ka din? Oo. And the gene is actually being transmitted as autosomal. Autosomal meaning both men and women may be affected in equal chances. So there is no sexual predilection. And this is manifested as dominant. Ibig sabihin, isang gene lang ang meron ka, you will manifest the disease. Yes. So halimbawa, isa sa parent meron, the mother has the disease, the father has no disease. How many percent that the offspring may have the disease? It's 50%. Eh ma'am, paano kung hindi niya nakuha? Eh di wala. Hindi na niya maipapasa sa susunod niyang anak. Hindi na. Eh wala siya eh. Kasi pagka meron siya, siguradong mapapasa. Pero pag wala, wala. ay ma'am, bakit naipasa pa kung nagkaroon na pala ng sakit? Yun ang problem dito sa Huntington's disease. You know, when I read the history of Huntington's, masabi ko lang kasi madaldal naman ako. They had hard time knowing the etiology of this disease because most patients in the past, they did not have parents anymore, especially during wartime. At dahil wala na silang parents, at yung parents nila, normal nung namatay. I mean, walang ganyung sakit nung namatay yung kanilang parents. Bakit? Kasi they found out that this condition pala, the signs and symptoms may be seen in late or in middle adult years. Middle adult years, around 35 to 45 years old. Nagkaanak na, nagkaasawa na, di ba? Ma'am, ba't pa kasi nag-asawa siya? Ay, kapag hereditary ang condition, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, huwag ka na mag-asawa. No. But the most important health teaching to families with hereditary condition is you encourage them to undergo genetic counseling. Very good. Now, with Lou Gehrig's disease, nako, siguro ang sama ng loob ni Lou Gehrig, no? Si Lou Gehrig was a famous player, baseball player ba? I think so. In the New York, in the US, tapos bigla siyang na-paralyze. We do not know the exact etiology. Kasi isa lang yung main known etiology. Okay. How about risk factors, ma'am? Okay. Number one sa risk factor natin is age. Okay, and this is common in the 6th decade of life. Some patients develop Parkinson's disease during their 40s and late 30s. We do not know the exact etiology, most likely certain chemical exposure. Okay, but we do not know the exact etiology. Okay, maybe family history is also a risk factor. We cannot question the genetic predisposition of a person to the disease. May kilala nga ako meron siyang Parkinson's ngayon. Tapos nalaman ko yung father niya also had Parkinson's before. So maybe family history is a risk factor. For Alzheimer's disease, again, age is a risk factor. Again, this is common in the 6th or 7th decade of life. Okay? Family history can also be a risk factor. We cannot question the genetic predisposition of a person to this disease, di ba? At syempre naman, stress can also be a risk factor. Naku, kaya dapat nagbabawas na tayo ng mga stress ngayon. Di ba? Kasi baka magkaroon tayo niyan. Siyempre ayaw natin yan. Ano pa, gusto natin maayos tayo hanggang ako nga gusto ko kahit na matanda na ako, nakakapaggamot pa din ako. Ayoko magkaroon yan. Pero hindi ko yan ikakailad at meron kaming family history of our lolos and lolas. Diba? Kailangan hindi ako na-stress. Kaya dahil matanda na ako, ayoko na na-stress, bumabait na ako. Okay, so yan yung Alzheimer's. Okay. Okay. Ma'am, bakit po nagkaroon yan? Bakit sila nagkaroon? Okay. Sa Parkinson's, di ba, we do not know the cause. It is just degenerating. Sa Alzheimer's, meron dalawang theory. Paano nagde-degenerate ang cells in the cerebral cortex? Una, sabi nila, baka daw nagkakaroon ng precipitation of abnormal protein called amyloid. Okay. Nakita nila itong amyloid na to, itong mga abnormal proteins na to, sa autopsy ng mga patient na may Alzheimer's. By the way, amyloid protein is also associated with cardiomyopathy. Ito rin, nakita nila sa mga autopsy ng patient. No, most likely, this amyloid is the one that is causing degeneration. Kaya lang, ang problema sa amyloid, hindi nakikita sa CT scan, sa MRI, sa PET scan. Hindi rin siya nakikita sa biopsy. Saan mo lang siya makikita? Autopsy, patay na yung patient. And you know, the studies that they are really doing is to identify this amyloid through imaging or kahit ano pa siya, basta ma-identify. Kasi chemical lang yan eh. Pag na-identify natin early yan, di gagawa tayo ng drug against it, diba? Kaya lang, hindi pa nila yan ma-perfect kasi nga hindi mo nakikita habang buhay pa yung patient mo. Okay, and another possible other possible explanation of pathogenesis is the degeneration of acetylcholine receptors in the synapses of the central nervous system, Ma'am, yun din po bang nervous system? Meron din siyang acetylcholine? Oo. If this is the nerve, ayan, and this is another nerve, what do we call the junction between nerves? We call them synapse. Very good. Do we transmit impulses through the synapse? Yes. And the nature of impulse transmission is also chemical at gagamit din tayo ng acetylcholine. And this acetylcholine will get out of the junction. Pag nakalabas na siya sa junction, may receptors din siya. Meron. Anong tawag natin sa receptors? Cholinergic receptors. And these receptors are all over the neural membrane, di ba? Maraming mga receptors dyan kasi marami namang acetylcholine dyan. Okay? So, ma'am, para silang myasthenia gravis, ma'am, na nasisira yung mga receptors for acetylcholine. So, pag nasira, babagal po yung impulse transmission sa brain. Definitely. And you know what? The first part of the brain affected is the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the seat of memory. At ang unang-unang mawawala, yung recent memory. Sabi nung isang lolo, pasado naman siya sa lahat ng tinanong sa kanya ni Doktora, kaya pa niya talagang sabihin yung buong history ng Philippines. Pero nung tinanong siya, anong araw po ngayon? Hindi na makasagot si Lolo. Yun ang problema. Recent. Ano pong breakfast nyo kanina? Yung parang kahapon, kasi hindi na niya maalala. Yun ang problema. The recent memory, yun ang unang nabubura. Yung unang nabubura, yung recent. Sabi nga nung isang doktor na kakilala ko, ma'am, parang ano yan, first in, yung first na pinasok mo, last mong ia-out yan. So, yung last in, first out. Parang pagkain, no? So, yung huli mong kakalagay mo lang, yun yung unang mawawala, yung recent, no? So, this is your Alzheimer's disease. Sa Huntington's naman, ma'am. Well, the abnormal gene, by the way, the gene is called the Huntington gene. Huntington. Okay, so the abnormal gene dictates the degeneration of the cells of the brain, or as rather, the cerebral cortex and the basal ganglia. So, dalawa yung manifestations. Dito, sa Lou Gehrig's, dito na pala. The risk factors, well, male sex. This is very common among males, and family history, most likely, again. Okay. What is happening, ma'am? Bakit nagde-degenerate ang lahat ng motor neurons? Well, one problem here is that there is the overexcitation of neurotransmitter called glutamine. This is an excitatory neurotransmitter. So, na-overexcite yan, o-over din ng impulse transmission, tapos nagde-degenerate yung lahat ng motor neurons. Anong motor neurons? Upper motor neurons. Ano pa? Lower motor neurons. And all the motor neurons of cranial nerves with muscle function. Tatlo lang naman ang walang motor function na cranial nerve, di ba? Optic, olfactory, tsaka auditory. Lahat meron na. And those cranial nerves with motor function, ang mga neurons yan, tawag natin corticobulbar neurons. Okay. So these are neurons of cranial nerve with motor function. Neurons of cranial nerve with motor function. So, napaparalyze sila. Yes. Okay? Okay, so bago natin pag-usapan yung ibang clinical manifestations, para hindi ko na to i-discuss dun sa isa-isa. Total nagko-comparative discussion naman tayo. Okay. Ma'am, how do we diagnose diagnostic tests? Well, in Parkinson's disease class, diagnosis is made by history and physical exam only. Wala pong diagnostic test, wala. And you know what? Uh, History and physical exam. It is very difficult, they say, to diagnose patients during the early stage of Parkinson's disease kasi sometimes hindi nakikita agad yung mga rigidity and slowness of movement. Yung iba, yung stiffness on one side of the body pa, unilateral. May kilala akong patient, tumitigas yung shoulder niya. Ang sabi sa kanya, baka ano lang, frozen shoulder, yung pala early sign of Parkinson's. So it's really very difficult to check and see at the earliest stage. Lalo na, alam nyo, lalo na if you're denying the existence of a problem. Kasi ayaw mo yung magulang mo ang meron yan, di ba? Kaya mas lalong nahihirapan. Pero pag very observant tayo about what we see in our patient at imagine loss of arms, wings. Pagka tinignan mo yung isang tao, mapapansin mo ba yung hindi pala nagsuswing yung kamay niya kapag naglalakad siya? Di ba hindi naman masyado napapansin yun? But that is an early sign. Okay? Pag Alzheimer's naman, sa Alzheimer's din na wala rin tong diagnostic test eh. However, diagnostic tests are done to rule out other conditions. To rule out other conditions. Like what conditions? Like um, Alzheimer's ba yan? Eh baka na-stroke yan. Pwede ba yun? Oo. So anong pagagawa mo? Pagawa mo yung CT scan o kaya yung MRI if you want to see clearly. Slow reaction, ano to, altered level of consciousness. Eh baka naman may hypothyroidism yan. Pagawa tayo ng thyroid function test because hypothyroidism may also cause memory loss. Okay, what is the most sensitive test? What is the most sensitive cells to sodium changes? Diba? Brain cells. O brain cells pala. Eh baka naman may hypo o hypernatremia. So let's check the serum electrolyte level. Electrolyte levels. Diba? Baka may hypernatremia, baka may hyponatremia. So we have to check this. Kapag ginawa mo lahat yan, tapos wala lahat, normal lahat, ay, tsaka mo lang sasabihin na Alzheimer's. When all these tests are done and they are all normal, lahat pa pagawa mo, gusto mo magpa-cholesterol ka pa, baka may diabetes, baka may hypoglycemia or hyper, pagawa mo na lahat yan. Kapag lahat yan negative, and then they will start thinking most likely this is Alzheimer's. Okay? Ang Huntington's naman, the diagnosis is made by family history. Isa sa nanay niyan o sa tatay niyan, ganyan din ang sakit. Or you may do genetic counseling or genetic testing. At least ma-identify mo, di ba? Oo. Pero kung yung parents, ganun, and then the son or the daughter starts manifesting the same problem, di yun na. Okay. How about Lou Gehrig's? Ito will do diagnostic test, and one definitive diagnostic test is muscle biopsy. Okay, we can also do EMG, yung electromyography, or we can also do nerve conduction tests. But I think muscle biopsy is being done as a definitive diagnostic test for Lou Gehrig's disease. These are the degenerative diseases of the nervous system. So we will be discussing them one by one with the with the signs and symptoms, nursing diagnosis, and management. Okay, are we learning? Yeah, I hope so. Okay, and please do read, and you may ask questions. You may ask your advisor to pwede mo na kung tanungin ng advisor mo o yung mga taga-QC, you can ask directly questions from our group chat there. Okay? Learning tayo, ha? Okay, let's move on to our next page. Isa-isahin mo na siya, ma'am. Yes, we will talk about them now one by one. Okay? Okay, let's start off with your Parkinson's disease. Ayan. Parkinson's disease. Sabi natin, ano nga yung naapektuhan? Yung degeneration of substantia nigra. Substantia nigra is a dopamine producing neuron. At yung dopamine na yan ay ginagamit ng ano? Ng basal ganglia. What is the function of the basal ganglia again? Yan, very good. The basal ganglia is responsible for fine motor movement and coordination. Fine motor movement and coordination. At sabi sa atin, para daw balance ito, kailangan kasi balance ang neurotransmitter sa basal ganglia. Paano magbabalance? Balance dapat, ganyan. Balance. And what are the neurotransmitters? We have the excitatory neurotransmitter and the inhibitory neurotransmitter. The inhibitory neurotransmitter. At yung inhibitory neurotransmitter, this is actually the dopamine from the substantia nigra. That is actually the dopamine. And here, the excitatory neurotransmitter is your acetylcholine. Very good. Acetylcholine. So try to imagine this class, ha? Nasira yung substantia nigra, the one that is actually producing dopamine. So what will happen to dopamine? Dopamine level goes down, acetylcholine level goes up. Do we have an imbalance in the basal ganglia? Yes. Do we affect the function of the basal ganglia? Yes. E ano bang function nun? Fine motor movement and coordination. So what will be the clinical manifestations? The patient will have what we call, diniscuss natin to, ha, movement disorders. Voluntary or involuntary? Involuntary. Diba? And the cardinal signs are, ano nga yung cardinal signs? Very good. Cardinal signs, we have one, tremor, pin-rolling tremor. Okay. Number two, bradykinesia. Okay. Slowness in movement and rigidity. Matigas yung katawan. These are the cardinal signs. Okay. Voluntary or involuntary? Involuntary. Is there a risk for injury? Yes. Okay. Now, aside from this, no, what could be other manifestations? So, dahil nagte-tremor yan, pin-rolling tremor yan, okay, the patient will have loss of finger dexterity. Loss of finger dexterity. Will not be able to tie a shoelace, not be able to write very well. Kaya yung mga sulat nila lumiliit, small hand writing called micrographia. Not being able to button and unbutton shirts. Okay, so nursing diagnosis will include ano ba yun? Not being able to do the caring for oneself. Ano nga yun? Self-care. Very good. So, anong gagawin natin? We need to provide shirts or blouses na may strap na hindi na niya kailangang butones. Tapos we need to provide also shoes na meron ding mga strap o yung mga velcro para hindi na niya itatay yung shoelaces niya. Okay? Kasi nga, wala na yung finger dexterity. Okay. Now, because of rigidity and bradykinesia, the patient will also have loss of postural reflexes. Class, pag tinulak ka. Okay, anong reflex mo pag tinulak ka sa likod? you will move your one leg forward para mag-balance. Pagka ginanong ka naman sa dito, you will move your one leg backward para mag-balance. Itong patient na to, wala nun. Kaya pag tinulak mo yan, talaga naman, there is really risk for injury. Okay? At wala kang reflexes or postural reflexes, the patient will have a stooping posture hanggang nakayuko na siyang gano'n. Okay? And the patient will also have shuffling gait, maliliit na steps, small and propulsive step. Okay? Tingin ka sa YouTube yung mga clinical manifestations nito. Madali lang naman yan, kaya-kaya nyo naman yan, di ba? Para at least makita natin. Okay? Rigid, pati mukha niya, rigid. Kala mo galit siya sa'yo, pero hindi naman talaga siya sa galit. So, there is a mask-like face. Okay, so kasi nga, parang diretso, no, because of that rigidity. Itong mga to na sinasabi natin, late na to pero yung mga early signs and symptoms na hindi masyadong napapansin, loss of arm swing. Tapos isa lang, unilateral affectation. Aba, yung isa nagsuswing yung isa hindi naman. Hindi mapapansin yun. Unless pareho na silang hindi gumagalaw at very rigid na yung patient. Okay? Sometimes there is also joint stiffness like what I told you. Akala nila joint stiffness lang. Yung pala rigid na pala yung katawan nila. Okay? So nursing diagnosis, risk for injury. Di ba? Ano pa? Risk for fall. Correct. Okay, ano pa? Ma'am, risk for aspiration. Yes. So kailangan yung pagkain nila soft. Okay. Ma'am, do we allow them to use utensils and eat their own food? The answer is yes. But we need to provide our patient adaptive utensils, meaning they cannot use our utensils, the utensils that we're used to, yung common spoon and fork, hindi pwede. Meron silang adaptive utensils na hindi sila hindi sila ano yan, mai-endure, correct. So again, we will be giving them time, very important pa yan. Kailangan hindi mo siya minamadali. Kailangan yung time niya at his own pace dapat. Okay? So these are the clinical manifestations. And how do we manage our patient? Management. Independent intervention first. For all degenerative diseases, we need to provide safe and unhurried environment. Andiyan na lahat. Safe and unhurried environment. Walang mga nakakalat, di ba? Tapos meron siyang walker or assistive device para tutulungan siya maglakad. Hindi pwedeng mga nakaharang na mga basa-basahan, baka madulas yung patient natin. Di ba? Lahat ng ganyan. Sa exam class, you have to see the situation before you answer, okay? At nandun lahat ang clues na sasabihin sa'yo yan para malaman mo yung answer. Prevent aspiration. Okay. Ang kailangan yung food hindi masyadong thin, di ba? Dapat semi-solid yung food. Pero most importantly is the position while feeding. Dapat naka-upper backrest, no? Kailangan nakaupo para hindi siya mag-aspirate. Okay. Ano pa? Exercise. Okay. Encourage exercise. Okay. Alam nyo ba yung exercise, yung nakikita natin dati sa mga park, yung mga Chinese, tapos yung exercise nila, yung malalaki-laking ganyan, tapos dahan-dahan, ang tawag doon, yun, basta alam mo yun. That exercise, we advise kasi dahan-dahan at saka malalaki yung movement. And the purpose of doing that exercise, syempre naman to lessen the rigidity of the patient. Diba? Susulat ko yung sinabi ko kanina, unhurried, hindi ka nagmamadali. Tapos, use of adaptive utensils when feeding. Okay? Okay. Tapos, the use of clothes and shoes with strap. O kaya yung velcro. Ayan, para hindi na siya nahihirapan. Ano pa? Kung ano yung nagmamanifest doon sa patient, yun yung gagawin natin. Di ba? Okay. Sorry. Okay. We need to prevent infection, ma'am. Yes, okay. Especially from syempre rigid, nahirapan gumalaw-galaw na to, so hindi masyadong gagalaw to, the patient may have infection. Okay? Prevent skin breakdown, pwede rin. Sige, lagay natin yan. Basta may situation ka na ganyan. Prevent skin breakdown. Okay? Ano? Relieve anxiety, pwede. But let's now go to medical management. So what will be our medical management? Okay? Medical management include, okay, for a while class, okay, so medical management. If you know the problem of the patient, chemical problem, you know the action of your drug. So, ano ba yung problem natin? Mataas na acetylcholine at mababang dopamine. Doon muna tayo sa problem. There is no dopamine production or there is less dopamine production. So, we are giving our patient dopamine nergic drugs. Kulang ka pala ng dopamine, eh, didagdagan natin ng dopamine. But these drugs are what? Curative or palliative? These drugs are palliative. There is no more cure to this. We can only relieve the signs and symptoms and slow down progression of the disease. So kulang ka pala ng dopamine, dagdagan natin ang dopamine. And what are these drugs? No? Number one, we have the dopamine precursor. Okay. The dopamine precursor. Dopamine precursor is not really dopamine. No? Precursor nga. So once this precursor enters the blood-brain barrier and in the brain, they will become dopamine. And this is our drug of choice. We have levodopa. And once levodopa enters the blood-brain barrier, they become dopamine. So they are replacing. They are replacing. Okay? Uh, Now, they found out later on that the use of levodopa alone class, what happens is this, no? Some levodopa breaks down to become dopamine even before they pass the blood-brain barrier. Dopamine itself cannot enter the blood-brain barrier. It is levodopa that is entering. So kapag naging dopamine na yan, you cannot enter. And they found out that this is happening because of the action of the enzyme. Okay, nabe-breakdown ito, nabe-breakdown yan ng enzyme. Ang tawag ay, okay, dopa decarboxylase. So this is acted upon by an enzyme called dopa decarboxylase. This is an enzyme that will break down levodopa before it enters the blood-brain barrier. So walang masyadong papasok sa blood-brain barrier. Wala. Okay? Kaya nga, this is the reason why levodopa is combined with carbidopa. Carbidopa inhibits the enzyme. Tandaan mo, ang carbidopa hindi dopamine yan. But this will inhibit the enzyme dopa decarboxylase para hindi na ma-breakdown yung levodopa before it enters the brain. Kasi dati, ang ginawa nilang solution dito is to increase the dose of levodopa. Some may be broken down, some may pass, but higher dosage means more adverse effects. So instead of increasing the dose, they combined it with carbidopa. Levodopa with carbidopa is still our drug of choice for Parkinson's disease. And remember that we cannot give this with vitamin B6, di ba? Kasi vitamin B6 will, what is the effect of vitamin B6? Is if the patient is taking levodopa and carbidopa. Read and learn. Ang daya, di ba? Please do. Kasi pag ikaw mismo ang naghanap, you will remember that better, di ba? Correct. Okay, again watch out for the patient's intake of multivitamins, especially with vitamin B6. And what is the reason for that? Number 2, we have the bromocriptine and amantadine. Amantadine first. Amantadine is cimetrel. Okay. So the action of this drug is to increase the release of dopamine. But this will not happen during late stage kasi wala ka ng dopamine producing neuron, di ba? That's your amantadine. Okay, and the other one is called bromocriptine. And bromocriptine is a dopamine agonist. So it enhances the dopamine receptors or stimulate the dopamine receptors, agonists. Okay, so this is your dopaminergic drugs, most commonly given to patients with Parkinson's disease. Ang problema ko, mababang dopamine. So itaas natin yung dopamine. And another problem is mataas ang acetylcholine. So, anong gusto kong gawin? Ang gusto kong gawin, pababain ang acetylcholine. So, we give our patient anticholinergic drug. Anticholinergic drug. Ma'am, is that the same anticholinergic drug we give for extrapyramidal symptoms effect of antipsychotic drugs? Yes. So, you have your piperidine, nalala mo, Akineton, yeah, Artane, yeah, tama ba ako? Cogentin, Benadryl. I think piperidine is a generic name. Okay. Benadryl is a brand name. Okay. Cogentin. Ayan. So these are the anticholinergic drug, the purpose of which is to block the acetylcholine effect. Uy, anticholinergic, can it cause drying of the mouth? Yes. Constipation? Yes. Urinary retention? Yes. And those signs and symptoms are as if you are blocking the parasympathetic effect. This is Parkinson's disease. Palliative. No cure. Progressive. Okay. And we need to provide safe and unhurried environment. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's. Okay. Alzheimer's. We do not know the cause and we know what happened to your patient, no? And the clinical manifestations, signs and symptoms, cognition. Ano yung unang mawawala? Memory loss. And it may lead to actual dementia. All Alzheimer's patients have dementia, but not all dementia are Alzheimer's. Kasi maraming klaseng yan. It can be due to senile dementia or pwede rin dahil sa stroke, nagkaroon ng dementia. So, hindi lahat ng dementia ay Alzheimer's. Pero lahat ng Alzheimer's magkakaroon ng dementia. Now, what is bad about Alzheimer's is not only the memory loss, the patient may have psychotic symptoms like hallucination. Pwede yan. Yes. Delusions. Yes. The patient may have hysteria. Okay. May mga kausap. Parang nababaliw lang. O nakakalungkot, especially with our lolos and lolas. Okay. So, ito yung clinical manifestations. Actually, meron tayong stages. Diba? Ang dinidiscuss din sa Psych 2. The stage 1, this is our initial stage. During the initial stage, which usually lasted for about mga 2 years ito, the patient may still have lucid intervals or meron pa siyang naaalala na ayun, on her mind pa siya. Okay. Kaya lang minsan pumapalya yung memory. Pero aware siya na nagkakaroon na ng problem sa memory. Yung iba nga pag ganyan, di ba nag-video para lahat ng gusto niya sasabihin na niya kasi later on baka hindi na niya yan masabi. So this will go on for about 2 years. Naalala niyo ba yung palabas sa TV dati, yung Greatest Love? Ayun, pinakita lahat yung stages doon, no? Then we have the confusion stage. This is the second stage. Dito na lumalabas yung sundown syndrome. Ang sundown kasi, lahat ng mga signs and symptoms, kapag nagsasunset, na lumamanifest, naging agitated, irritable, restless, doon nila nagkakaroon ng hallucinations, delusions, tapos dito rin yung nagkakaroon ng wandering yung mga lolo't lola na lakad ng lakad, hanggang mawala na sila, hindi na sila nakita. Yan. So, we need to keep them busy inside the house para hindi sila lumalabas. Dito na rin nangyayari yung mga clinical manifestations, mental problems, clinical manifestations dyan sa confusion stage. Hallucinations, delusions, etc., agitation, etc. And the last is called the terminal stage. Sa terminal stage, the patient becomes totally dependent on the caregiver. Even eating for her or for him, na patient is confined to the bed already. The caregiver doing anything and everything to the patient. And most patients, they usually die of complications from immobilization, pagiging bedridden nila, pneumonia, infections, etc. So these are the different stages of Alzheimer's. Now, in the initial stage, dahil alam ng patient at aware siya na parang nawawala yung memory niya, there is so much anxiety during this stage. So anxiety is our nursing diagnosis for during the initial stage. Now, for confusion, you may have risk problems or risk for injury, risk for fall, okay? And in the terminal stage, again, risk problems, okay? So ito yung Alzheimer's disease. Again, walang cure. Palliative lang, yes. So how do we manage our patient? Again, provide safe and unhurried environment. Provide safe and unhurried environment. Okay, for our I am sorry for the interruption. You are hearing me now, right? Yes. Okay. So again, we have to provide safe and unhurried environment. This is very common to all patients with degenerative disorder. Tatandaan mo nga, do not set time limits on the activities given to your patient. Hindi pwede. Okay? Prevent aspiration. Siyempre, provide good nutrition. If the patient will manifest psychotic symptoms, we need to present reality. Questions in the examination will be like, how do you advise a patient with Alzheimer's? How do you talk to them? How do you remind them of their room? Ganun ang mga questions sa examination. So, alang-alamang litanyahan mo ng health teaching to, Alzheimer's patient to. Tapos akala niya nanay ka niya, you have to present reality. Yan, common yan sa mga examination, especially in the board exam, ha? Okay. Ano pa ba? Number 5, supportive. Yeah, walang cure, supportive lang. Not only to the patient, to family and patient as well, to patient and family. Lalo na sa family, it's very difficult for the family. Okay? How about drug therapy? May drug ba? Yes. Again, the drug is palliative. This is given to relieve the signs and symptoms. So, one drug is called also the anti-cholinesterase drug. You remember this drug for myasthenia gravis, di ba? Pero yung mga drugs sa myasthenia gravis, hindi pwede yun sa Alzheimer's disease kasi they will not pass the blood-brain barrier. What is the action of this drug? Retain acetylcholine. And if you retain acetylcholine, they stimulate many remaining receptors. Okay. So do you improve impulse transmission? Yes. So we have donepezil. Ayan. We have rivastigmine and tacrine. Again, palliative. Okay. Then we can also give antipsychotic drugs. Okay. We can also give anxiolytic drugs. So take note of the anticholinergic effects of these drugs and the adverse effects of these drugs, as well as antidepressant drugs. And these are all palliative. Class kanina sa Parkinson's disease, ma'am, wala po silang cognitive dysfunction, di ba? Kasi hindi naman CNS yun. Oo, kaya lang, the drugs that they are taking also affect the impulse transmission in the brain. So eventually, they develop also cognitive dysfunction secondary to the adverse effect of drugs. Ito rin, dahil nagte-take to ng antipsychotic drugs, they may also develop extrapyramidal symptoms. Hindi dahil sa Alzheimer's disease itself, but because of the adverse effects of drugs. Like one patient I know with Alzheimer's developed the worst type of an extrapyramidal symptoms called tardive dyskinesia, not because of Alzheimer's, but because of the adverse effect of her medications. Okay? So this is your Alzheimer's disease. Now for Huntington, let us change the board na. For Huntington, again, wala namang gamot, 'di ba? Puro lang tayo puro lang tayo supportive. Huntington's disease. Okay. Management, again, provide safe and unhurried environment. Dito sa mga patient na may na Huntington's, we need to have regular exercise. Parang sa Parkinson's, oo, kasi may movement disorder sila. And when they move voluntarily, nalilesen yung kanilang involuntary movement, no? Okay, ano pa? We need to prevent aspiration, of course. We need to provide good nutrition. Supportive talaga lang. Oo, wala namang cure eh. Supportive lang tayo. Supportive management, not only to the patient, but also to the family. We give also, as ordered, pwede rin tayong magbigay ng antipsychotic drugs. Remember, lahat ito meron. Okay. Ang cardinal signs nito ay one, the patient may have emotional disturbances. The patient may have cognitive dysfunction. And the movement disorder is called chorea. I want you to look at the YouTube how this choreic movement happens to this patient. Diba sa Parkinson's, tremor, rigidity, and bradykinesia, ito, yan, emotional disturbances, cognitive dysfunction, and chorea. So we can also give our antipsychotic drugs, antidepressant drugs, and be aware also of the adverse effects of these drugs. Ha? Okay. There is no cure to Huntington's disease. Okay, and most patients will die of complications from the clinical manifestations like infection. Usually, they die of infection. Kasi syempre, they will not be able to, control much of the skin problem or coughing or pneumonia, ganyan. Oh, by the way, nakalimutan ko, dun sa Alzheimer's, para it's a tie. Yung cardinal signs nito ay, so you have your memory loss or dementia. Ma'am, ang Huntington's po may dementia rin. Opo. The patient will have emotional disturbances. and cognitive dysfunction. O ma'am, wala silang movement disorder. Wala. Pero kapag uminom ng mga gamot yan and the adverse effects of the drugs may also have them develop it. Ganun. Yes. Okay, we have our last na. Our last topic is your ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or Lou Gehrig's. Again, ang pinaka-importante rito ay support respiratory function. Kasi motor loss, pwede bang mahirapan siyang huminga? Yes. Support respiratory function. This is very important. Okay. Prevent aspiration. Okay. The patient may have passive range of motion exercises. Okay. Prevent complications of immobility. Ayan. Provide good nutrition. Again, lahat ay supportive. Okay, supportive care. Both sa patient at saka sa family. How about drug therapy? Since we have a chemical that actually responsible for the loss of motor neurons, meron din tayong drug therapy, di ba? We have a glutamate antagonist. You are blocking the overexcitation of glutamate. Glutamate antagonist, riluzole. But again, this is palliative. And patients with ALS usually have a lifespan of, anong lifespan nila? 5 years. Usually die within 5 years time. Die within 5 years. Yung mga may Alzheimer's can last for years. Yung Parkinson's din. Huntington's as well, pero ang ALS no, because the motor affectation of the respiratory system, very important kasi yun, di ba? You cannot last with mechanical ventilator. The more the patient may be susceptible to infection. Okay, so those are the degenerative diseases of the nervous system. And earlier, we have the autoimmune disorders of the nervous system. Walang increased ICP sa lahat ng ito. Okay, and we need to provide them with safe and unhurried environment. Ito na naman ako, reminding everyone, pag pare-pareho ang signs and symptoms natin, pare-pareho ang nursing diagnosis, and in general, pare-pareho ang nursing intervention. Exam questions will depend on your situation. Okay, and the answer will depend on what is being asked in the situation. So the longer the problem, the more clues to the right answer. So wag kang maiinis kapag ang haba ng question. Mas maganda yon kasi mas marami kang clues. Ma'am, naguluhan ako lalo. Eh, yun ang problema. Okay, so I hope you learned something from me. Okay, I'll be seeing you pa on Wednesday for our CA2 discussion. Okay, so ito lang sasabihin ko sa inyo lagi. Keep on learning. Bye. Thank you very much for listening. And I hope you learned something from me.